The Senate is racing to finish a partisan bill on prescription drug reform before the August recess. The bill is being called the Inflation Reduction Act, and it's expected to address climate change and close some tax loopholes.
The biggest part of this bill is expected to address cost, but that might not happen for several years. Joe St. George explains.
If there is one thing I've learned covering healthcare over the years,
one pill is $1,400.
It doesn't matter your age.
Right now, the medication I have to pay for is $3,850 a month.
Prescription drugs can be expensive. You don't look 71. I met John Warbacher.
I am 20.
And Jacqueline Garibay a few months back. But their horror stories of going to the pharmacy came back to me as prescription drug reform begins to take center stage in Congress. According to 46 Brooklyn Research, a nonprofit that tracks drug prices, 2021 set a record for increases. Over 900 brand-name drugs saw hikes. On average, those hikes were around 4.2%. But it appears Congress is on the verge of doing something about it. Over the course of the next couple weeks, Democrats in the House and the Senate are expected to pass legislation that would cap out-of-pocket costs for seniors on Medicare who have Part D at $2,000 annually. They would penalize drug companies who raise prices beyond inflation, and perhaps most importantly, allow Medicare to negotiate with drug companies for the very first time. However, like most things in Washington, there's a catch. The catch is that in 2023, 2024, and 2025, no drugs would benefit from price negotiation. Only in 2026 would those lower prices begin. It would be limited to just 10 drugs at first, although that number will increase each year after that. Another catch, the bill isn't expected to limit the cost of drugs when they first enter the market. So in theory, pharmaceutical companies could charge more initially, knowing that the price can't go up that much. As a reminder, this legislation is being met with criticism and skepticism by Republican leaders who are worried this will restrict research and the development of new drugs. No Senate Republicans are expected to vote for this, but they may not be needed. If every one of the 50 Democrats in the Senate support it, it can pass because the plan is to pass it via reconciliation, a process that requires a simple majority vote.
This is the closest we've ever been.
Jacqueline just hopes the final bill helps more than just older Americans.
You know, it's hard enough being a college student that has an illness. It's even harder trying to figure out how to pay for all of it.
In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
The bill also addresses climate change and raising taxes on high earners. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Joe Manchin overcame their stalled negotiations to develop this proposal. Manchin's opposition to previous attempts for similar legislation was out of concern that it would raise inflation. The new bill puts tax increases on the wealthy and big corporations. It would also invest in technology to improve carbon-based and clean energy. The president called the proposal, quote, the action the American people have been waiting for, unquote.